What is going on, guys? Dustin here with another Star Trek, the official Starships Collection from Eaglemoss. And before I get into the review, I would like to dedicate this review to Anton Yelchin. You may remember him as Ensign Pavel Chekov, who served on the USS Enterprise. Sadly, Anton Yelchin lost his life in a automotive freak accident involving with his 2-ton Jeep. This death has impacted the whole Star Trek community, and of course I am actually doing this review for him. He made his debut in Star Trek, starring as Ensign Pavel Chekov in 2009, and moved on up to Star Trek Into Darkness, and he will be portrayed in Star Trek Beyond in 2016. The film Star Trek Beyond is set to be released in July of 2016 of this year, in time for the show's 50th anniversary. He has joined other fellow actors such as Leonard Nimoy, DeForest Kelley, Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry. I believe that'd be it. I know I did the introduction. Normally I start off with what's going on, guys. Does here with another Star Trek, the official Starships Collection from Eaglemoss, but I started off with much of a somber intro dedicated to Anton Yelchin. So now this video actually dedicates to him. Today we are actually taking a look at the Romulan Drone, launched in 2154 with a length of 35 meters and a top speed of warp 5. Yes, it has a flea design. It's a ship. And I actually never liked the display stand that you have to put the spike in front of the hole and stand and leave it at that. Sometimes if you hit it multiple times, it'll pop out of display. It's operated by the Romulan Star Empire. It was a prototype, and the weaponry includes a trisphatic disruptors and holographic skins. And we'll find out about that. In the 2154, the Romulans launched an experimental drone that could disguise itself as other ships. This is a small unmanned prototype that was covered in holographic projectors. It received instructions via a series of subspace antennae and projected from its nose. Sorry for a hiccup. It successfully destroyed Andorian and Telluride vessels. When the NNR operator, Garib, rebelled and both drones were destroyed and seemed deemed to be a failure. It was controlled by a teleprosthetic unit, which allows the operator to direct all of its systems. The system could control the ship from several light years away with no noticeable time lag. But the drawback could be operated by a telepath. Romulans are telepathic like their Vulcan cousins. They were sufficiently sensitive to operate the ship. The Romulans had to rely on a captured member of the NNR, which is a subspecies of the Andorian. Now you may notice the yellow specks on there. The surface is actually covered by multispectral emitters. They glow yellow when the ship is powered up. These emitters generate a holographic sensor field around the drone that can make it appear to be any vessel that the Romulans want it to be. Sadly, these prototype drones met to a destructive end after the remote operator and their Garib turned on its Romulan captors. Used one drone to destroy the other, and the Enterprise destroyed the other with a torpedo. These emitters can be used to make the drones appear like almost any other vessel, and the Romulans had the chance to scan. Although it's unmanned, the drone had a bridge, but was actually remote controlled by an operator who was based on Romulus in a almost identical facility. Kind of like operating a U.S. Air Force drone, if any service members actually, parallel to that, making an analogy. These drones are maneuverable ships that can perform aerobatic maneuvers at high speed. The weapon systems used trisphatic emitters that could simulate the weapon signatures of a variety of different systems, from phasers to power code emitters and disruptors. Drone project was an experiment forwarded by Admiral Valdori and supported by Senator Vrax. However, Valdori has been a member of the Senate but had been expelled after he questioned the need for critical expansion. After this, he became more aggressive and was convinced that the Romulus' best policy was to create tension between the different powers in the Alpha Quadrant, leaving them vulnerable to an assault. So here's actually the plan views. These are the spectral beaters, and it actually does have a flea design. And let me tell you one thing: I don't like fleas because not only they bite, they hurt. It leaves you scratching for days with an infection. Anyway, let me get back to this. Anyway, Romulan technology of this era was superior than most of the races. Drone's weapons were far in advance of anything that the Andorians and Tellarites possess. A drone can only achieve speeds just above warp 9, and that's it. Telepresence, which is actually a system that allows a remote operator to access all of the systems, this was technology the Andorians had experimented with without success. The Romulan version required a highly telepathic operator, which leads to connect Garib, a member of the NR, a subspecies of Andorian, and convince him the rest of the Andorian and the NR had been killed and forced him to operate the drones. Systems worked over vast distances and relied on a large number of subspace transceivers that could receive the data. In theory, jamming the signals would disable the drone itself. They were remote controlled from Romulus, where a team of Romulan soldiers forced Garib to carry out their instructions. Garibs also required regular medication to allow them to operate the drones for extended periods of time. So for quick scans, the Romulan drone can emulate any ship that had a chance to scan thanks to the multispectral emitters, who appear very much larger than it actually was. It actually disguised itself as the Enterprise after a single encounter. So, how did they design this strange flea-like ship that became the Romulan drone? Think about this. When fleas jump on your skin, they act like drones. They scout, they bite you, and lay eggs. And more starts to breed. And more drones start to breed as well. What was that? Oh, somebody was talking to me for a minute. Anyway, the drone was adapted from a mysterious ship that the Voyager encountered in a region in chaotic space. The original design only appeared for about a handful of seconds. The design, formerly known as the Flea, made 2 brief appearances in Voyager. They found a ruined version floating in the Fight, and eagle-eyed viewers spotted it docked at a space station, Natural Law. And you can actually see it just where my finger is, right here. and circled it just know where it is. Now this is the floating version. It started life one Christmas as the VFX team struggled to come up with several different designs for the fourth season of the Star Trek Voyager episode, Fist of This. Back then it was rejected, but months later it got finished and used for another Voyager episode, The Fight, before finally being converted into a Romulan ship in Enterprise's fourth and final season. It wasn't even designed by the Star Trek art department. Now and again, the VFX house, in this case Digital Muse, would take on the design of a ship themselves. So here's the next page. These are the original sketches that they were produced over Christmas in 1998. This version up on the top right up here, will go on to be the flea. The flea design has been greeted enthusiastically by VFX supervisor Ron B. Moore and his boss Dan Curry. But before Lombardi could finish the design, the approach was rejected by their boss, Voyager supervising VFX producer Peter Larson, because he said it was something that didn't fit in the Star Trek universe, and he wants Peter Larson to avoid having ships that actually look like life forms. I believe it was actually going to be originally going to be one of the ships that tracked down the shape-shifting Steve in the episode Fist of This, but in the end the design the producers think was a little bit different. This is actually design, the final design, but the script actually called it a dead and battered ship, which actually influenced the color and texture. They actually brought it to life when Enterprise's fourth season came out. Obscure ships like this stood a chance making a comeback because they were preserved in a catalog which was started by Digital Muse and then maintained by ENFX. Each ship has a sheet of what it looks like, who it belonged to, where it had been used, stuff like that. Model nose construction. Now this is actually the original design. Alright, if anyone would like to know why I got cut off, I'm working with a battery that wastes a lot of power whenever I video, and if I get cut off one more time, I'm gonna blow a gasket. Man, I forgot what I was on. So, anyway, here's the final design of the flea, the Romulan drone. It's big, menacing, and mean itself. This is actually the original Voyager era model converted into a Romulan vessel by changing the color, added holographic projectors to the hull. The antennas up front made perfect sense for a ship that has remote controlled and projecting an solar field around itself. The Romulan War. The drone itself was the attempt to start a war between the Andorians and the Tellarians, and the first move would have been Star Trek Enterprise's future. The first episode in the episode arc saw Trip and Malcolm aboard the ship where there was an unmanned Romulan drone. The reveal was designed to surprise the audience as much as it did for them. In the original idea of Babel 1, the Romulans were using a drone ship but didn't have the ability to disguise itself as other vessels. Wait, this is the one. I don't know much anything about the Romulan War. Alright, so here's the on-screen appearances. The key appearance is Babel 1 from Star Trek Enterprise, and of course the NNR from the same show. The Romulans and Vulcans shared the same history, and the 22nd century Romulan Wars posed several continuing problems. First episode featured the Romulans' Balance of Terror. Explicitly states that no human was ever seen a Romulan, and this was something that producers and Enterprise went to great lengths to maintain. However, the episode also makes clear that Spock's surprised to see that the Romulans look like Vulcans, only one to believe it is likely they are related. Even by the second Romulan appearance in the Enterprise incident, Spock knows a lot more about his Romulan cousins by the time Enterprise was made. The Romulan Drone appeared in a three-part story in Star Trek Enterprise's fourth and final seasons. The episodes contain several references to Star Trek Nemesis. It's been released a few years earlier, basically 2002. Though it never said on screen, but the script made the Romulans Admirals Valdori, the name was given Commander Donatra's ship in Nemesis. The story even featured the first television appearance of the Remans, which the vampirically inspired slave race that Nemesis revealed lives on the planet Remus. And the next issue is we're going to be looking at is the USS Enterprise. Eagle Moss. Where is Enterprise B? I really wanted it. So, what is up? I never got a chance to get this ship. So, if you're hearing out from me, please, I need this ship to add it into my Enterprise collection. Skipping issue 40 was... what in the world was that all about? Anyway, in there, we're going to look at this refit version of the Excelsior class Enterprise B, the ship where Captain Kirk supposedly died, and how Johnny has modified the Excelsior to make a new Enterprise. And here's the back graphic. And here is the ship. Just like what I said, I really don't like staying the way it is, because if you actually knock it over by accident, it actually goes off at an awkward angle. So here's actually the flea design ship. And you got the yellow emitters all around. Actually looks pretty cool. You also have the antennas. Now this is actually the spike hand that is supposed to be in here. And I can't believe this is actually changed into any ship. And even though it's unmanned like a drone, like even the modern age, right now, we actually now have like unmanned aircraft. What's next is they're going to be for drones. We already got unmanned aircraft. What is it? Unmanned vehicles? That'd be cool. Unmanned ships. Like drone ships. Sneak into enemy territory. I'm not giving the military ideas. I'm not giving the military ideas. So, the drone itself looks amazing, and Eagle Moss, please, I really need the Enterprise B. And it just sits right there. Anyway, this video, just like what I said, is dedicated to Anton Yelchin, who tragically died in a automotive freak accident. He will be seen in Star Trek Beyond. He was filmed, and I think this may be the last film he may appear. So this video is dedicated to him. And anyway, if you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, watch more videos. So, my name is Dustin, and I will see you later.